Everyone watching, we're here with Xavier. He's going to talk us through his strategy, some of his results so far with Alpha Capital, and just a bit of a background on your story as well. So, I'm going to start with a quick introduction to yourself. Tell us when you find trading and how you find it.
Sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Xavier. I'm 28 years old and I live in Canada. I have a bachelor degrees in finance and entrepreneurship. And actually, the way I found trading was pretty funny and unconventional. It was in my business school, in a class. I had a classmate who had a trading platform on his computer, and I didn't know trading at all at that moment, and I was just looking at his screen, sorry, and I was like, oh, that looks so cool. So I decided to try it, to discover it. I make a lot of research about trading, about forex, to learn it, and little by little I started to develop a passion for trading. So I just decided that it was meant for me, and I started to practice, to open a demo account, to trade on a live account. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Okay, cool. So, did you feel like you immediately trading was for you? Like, were you a bit on the fence about whether it could work or not? What was your thoughts whenever you found trading?
To be honest, I was definitely sure that it was meant to be for me because once I discovered it, I liked it, and I was
Nice.
feeling like there was something to do with it, and that I could start a trading career in this field. So I I really knew from the start that it was meant for me, but it wasn't easy at all at the beginning because it took me a lot of years just learning about it, and after that becoming profitable.
Nice. So, how would you explain your strategy to someone new?
Through the years, I developed many strategies, so around five that I'm using every day. I would say that my most profitable one is a scalping one. So it's a strategy when I am just getting in and getting out very quickly in the market, so just a few seconds or a few minutes. And it's pretty much based on the economic calendar because I like to trade with the news, not necessarily the news themselves, but with the news, because I truly believe that all the market is run by all the big banks, the big financial institutions, hedge funds, central banks. So we are all, as retail traders, I believe that we are just small parts in all these trading environments. So I try to like surfing. I try to surf on the wave caused by all those big institutions. So when there is a big economic announcement, once it's released, I like to see the momentum and try to run on it. So that's my most profitable one. It's not as easy as it may sound because it took me years to very analyze every news, which economic news are the best ones, are the most volatile, and which currency pair I need to use for this. And after that, just trying to manage trading conditions like slippage and volatility and stuff like that. But I would say that most of the time, I'm using a day trading strategy when I'm focusing on support and resistance. So buying at support and selling at resistance. So I'm not I'm not creating anything new. Everybody knows about it, but I feel like sometimes people just try to find the secret indicator or the secret strategy, but I like to keep it simple. So if I explain my strategy to people, they will be like, "Well, dude, I already know it." But yes, it take practice to master it. But the main the main goal of my strategy, the main function, it's pretty easy. So support and resistance mainly.
Nice. So, you're mostly an intraday trader and a scalper. Would you swing trade at all? Is
I
that one of your strategies?
tried, but it's really not for me because I'm not comfortable keeping my positions through many days or many weeks, and I will always think about them. I won't sleep well, so I just prefer to get in, get out, and after at the end of the day, either it's a losing day or it's a winning day, I know that it's finished. So I don't have to be preoccupied by any position running, you know. So I tried in the past, but it's not for me. So in my long-term portfolio, so where I'm buying stocks and ETFs, yeah, I can do swing trading, of course, because it's for the long term. But in my trading, when I'm currently trading, I prefer to do intraday.
Nice. And what pairs do you trade? Do you trade volatile pairs or more so on the currency side?
Well, I try to focus on the major currency pairs, so EU, GU, USD CAD, USD JPY, and DOT. I also like to trade the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones because they are like the main US indices. So since I'm working in the financial markets too, it's easier for me to follow the market trend and to follow just the market sentiment, you know. And I have a love and hate relationship with gold too, because I love it and it's by phases. I mean that sometimes I'm really good with gold, and it's giving me a lot of wins, a lot of money. But there are times of high volatility where gold is just crushing me, and I'm like, okay, I don't like you anymore. So let's take a pause together, you know.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of manipulation in gold.
I really love EU, Euro USD,
Nice.
because I when I compare it with the other ones, it's not that volatile. So when you are seeing like the pips movements, it's not that volatile. So it's easier for me to just relax, calm down, and just see all the movements. And even if I'm in a drawdown, I'm not stressing because I know that it's not like the GBP USD, which has very big movements, you know. So I
Mm.
have the time to do again my analysis, to try to adjust myself in if I need to. So yeah, I prefer this one.
Nice. Okay, cool. You mentioned that you use news a lot, so you check
Yeah.
Forex Factory, you trade with the news. So is there any other methods you've used in the past to improve your fundamental knowledge? Like, have you taken any courses, or is it just mainly studying Forex Factory, the news releases, and trying to find patterns?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's pretty much studying the Forex Factory
Nice.
economic calendar. Well, actually, I don't use the Forex Factory one. I use investing.com, but
Okay.
all the economic calendars are the same. It's just that I study with investing.com, so I stick with it. Um, I don't I never really like read any courses or anything to improve my fundamental aspect. I was just working on my own, so I developed like an Excel sheet in which I document all my trades. So for in my opinion, data is key. Okay, so I try to always, after each trade, either it's a win or a loss, I try to like document it and try to see, okay, what went good, what went well, sorry, what went wrong, and try to see, okay, so the slippage for this particular news was it, but the result was that. Is it following like the market sentiment of the news, or it is totally going to the other side? So I try to keep all this data in my computer so that I'm always prepared for each news. So every time a news is released, I already know which currency pair I want to trade, what will be the approximate volatility, and how to have to trade it. You know, so just by mistakes and trials and errors, and trying on the live conditions to know what to do for each economic news.
Nice. Okay, that's really interesting. And how long ago did you start doing that, where you were studying the news events? How long would you say it's taken for you to find those patterns and master that style?
Yeah, well, I started trading 7 years ago, and I started to be interested in fundamentals, sorry, and news trading. I think just 1 year after,
Okay.
6 years ago. But to be honest, it's only since 2 years, the only 2 years that I became profitable with this strategy and with my other ones, because it took me a lot of time to like master my emotions, because
Mm.
emotions, as you know, it's a big part in trading, my psychology, and also try to erase all my bad habits, all my bad behaviors that we all know, like greed, FOMO, revenge trading, over trading, and I'm still working on it. So I'm not perfect yet, but I'm profitable now because I worked throughout the years to master those aspects. So I'm not perfect yet. Sometimes I have a little steps of leaders phases, sorry, of over trading, but it's very, very much better than in the past. So my new strategy, I started it 6 years ago, but I would say that during 3 to 4 years, I wasn't profitable with it. I just liked it because it was like, how can I say that? It was logic for me. It was logical, because I was able to see the movements, the momentum, and I was like, okay, it's so predictable. So I don't know which side it will go, but it's predictable that it will something big will happen. So I really liked it. So I tried to stick with it. I made huge losses trading the news, and I also almost gave up on this strategy. But I would say that 2 years ago, when I discovered the prop firms, I had the first one, which with which I decided to go back again to this new strategy, and it worked very, very well for me. And I was like, oh wow, okay, so it works, and I really can make something out of it. So I'll just try to stick with it and try to master it, and to, as I told you, document it so that I will always be prepared.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you mentioned there that you took a while to overcome those, emotions, FOMO, greed, all those things that I think a lot of people watching are struggling with.
Yeah.
What would be your key piece of advice that helped you to get that breakthrough from experiencing those bad emotions to being profitable?
Yeah, sure. I already have the answer because yeah, it struck me. I think that having a trading journal is a must,
Mm.
because it's after journaling all my trades that I realized that I was profitable, but at the end, why I wasn't profitable anymore is because it was because of all those over trading stuff, or when I wasn't following my plan. I was just like trading with my emotions. So it's easy to say, but once you are actually journaling your trades, it's much easier to understand it, because I had my Excel sheet with all my trades of the day, and I was like, oh crap. During
Mm.
this month, I was like, I would have made so much money if I just stick with my initial plan, but all the money I lost is because was because I was over trading, or I was revenge trading. So just having this trading journal, so it made me realize that I just need to focus on my plan, follow my rules, and even if it's very, very difficult, because we are human beings, so it's only natural to try to be too greedy, or to try to think that wasn't planned at the beginning. But once I realized it, and once I started to, okay, I will follow my trading journal, and I will try to avoid all those mistakes, I directly saw my result to improve, improving. And also, that's a little funny advice too, but when you are having a trading journal, it's boring. Let's say the word is boring. So sometimes you are lazy. You are like, oh no. So I finished my trading day, and now I have to journal all my trades. It's so boring that you are forced to only focus on your main trades. So you don't want to be journaling trades you took based on your emotion and stuff like that. So I truly believe that it helped me a lot, and it's the best advice I can give to everybody listening to this interview, is that having a trading journal is a must. So as of today, I don't use a trading journal anymore because I used it for years and I'm used to it. So even for the little times where I am over trading, I already know it and I am documenting it in my head directly.
Yeah.
But yes, it helped me a lot.
Nice. And for those watching who have never used a trading journal before, I feel like a lot of us do preach that trading journals are the way forward, but there's quite a few new traders that wouldn't know where to start. So what would you say, tell them to document? Like what aspects of your trades do you record whenever you're journaling?
Yeah, well, on my and we can go through that at the end of the interview. But on my website in my free forex course, there is a Excel sheet which is available for everybody,
Nice.
which is a trading journal, so everybody can use it and do it on their own. So you can see in that table what how I am journaling my trades. So I am documenting the currency pair I am trading, the time frame, the strategy that I use, because every strategy I gave them a name so that I can already know it. So which strategy I used, did I trade the news or not? And I have a comment section just after that, so I can put all my notes about this trade. So how was I feeling? Was I following my plan? um, was I did I achieve, sorry, my take profit or my stop loss? Okay, I made a win, but I got out with a trailing stop, for example. So I try to journal all those little aspects so that when I see my trading journal at the end of the day, I can see that okay, I'm most profitable when I don't use personally take profits, but I use like mental take profits, like mental levels, and each time I achieve a particular level, I just follow my trend with a trailing stop, because we all know the sentence which says that trend is your friend. So I always try, as long as the trend is continuing, I just want to stay in my trade. So it just my stop loss which will improve as long as the trend is going up, for example. And once it reverse and it touch my stop loss, then I'm out.
Nice. Okay, so
So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah.
nice. And I find it really interesting that you have five different strategies. I know a lot of people just focus on one. What would you say would be the main benefits of having more than one strategy to choose from when you're live trading?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's true that it's always good to have one strategy, but I like to have multiple because the strategy that I will use don't even depend on me. It depends on the market conditions.
Mm.
And I developed several strategies, mainly during COVID, because during COVID we had a pretty huge and pretty crazy market. So, for example, my new strategy at some points didn't work anymore. But through my experience, I knew that it worked in the past because I made some very good gains with it. So I know that it worked, but not necessarily in this specific time of the year, for example. So I was like, okay, if I can't trade my new strategy anymore, I have to find something else, you know? So I developed another one just to be able to capitalize during high volatility markets. And not it not always depends on the market condition, but also with it depends on your broker or your prop firm if you are trading with a prop firm. Meaning that I was trading with a particular prop firm with my new strategy and it worked perfectly. But at some point they decided to change the broker, you know. So the trading conditions with the new brokers were totally different, and it was, well, crap, sorry for the term.
Mm.
So yeah, so a lot of slippage, the spreads weren't good anymore. So it was very, very difficult for me. So, and I was in a big drawdown. I think it was 26,000 in the loss, you know. So after that, I decided, okay, I don't want to lose my account, or I'm pretty much going to lose it. So as long as I'm losing it, just try to create a new strategy, you know. So I created a new one, a day trading one. So the one I told you about, the support and resistance. And I was able in just 3 weeks to make like $53,000. So I all my losses and I had a good payout at the end. So it just showed me that depending on the broker, depending on the market condition, you always have to adjust yourself. So maybe there is a strategy, I don't know, that you can use in all market condition, but it's not my case. So in my case, I have five because I like to adapt, to adjust and adapt myself according to market conditions and brokers.
Nice. I think that's really good. That was really valuable as well because a lot of people, when they go into deep drawdown with prop firms, they panic and they over leverage to try and get out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas you've paused the account, you went and back tested, you've created this new strategy to work for the market conditions, and that time away from live trading has helped you to recover the losses, get a payout. So there's a really good lesson there that when you're in deep drawdown, like take a step back, back test, improve, and then come back, and then this is what can happen. Then that's amazing. Yeah, happy
Yeah,
days.
exactly. And if I can, sorry, if I can
Of
add
course.
one point, it's very valuable for the listeners to listen that listen. But I'm not perfect, so I blown a lot of accounts too, and I blown a lot of challenges. So I'm definitely not perfect. But at that time, yeah, I was able to recover that loss and to not panic. But sometimes it's just difficult and it's normal. So you will make losses, you will fail challenges, you will blow accounts. But as long as you stick with your plan and as long as you persevere and never quit, I truly believe that you can make it at the end.
Nice. I love that. What do you think was the biggest struggle you faced on your journey so far, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, well, I had a lot of struggles, so I don't really have a biggest one because they were all big. I would say overtrading and greed were the most difficult because overtrading, because I was always trying to, because as I told you at the beginning, I'm passionate about trading. I really love it, and but since I love it so much, it's also addictive. So sometimes when there are no setups to trade, where there are no good trade to take, I'm always like, oh, but it's boring. I want to have some action in my life. I want to take
Yeah.
a trade just to see where it goes. And sometimes you are not taking a trade, you are just seeing the market, and you are like, oh man, if I was in this trade, I would I've made that much and etc. So it's always difficult to try to focus on your plan and don't do those things. And I can probably say that today I'm much better than in the past. But of course, sometimes it happens to me to overtrade a little bit. But um, the difference with the past and now is that I'm more aware of it, so I can stop it more quickly. And also, I thought about the greed. So once you make a certain amount of money and you see that, oh, okay, I'm really able to do that. I have this power. So you are like, okay, but I'm sure that I can make more. I can make more. And you try to make more, even if it's not the right time on the market. And that's where you are pretty much losing all your gains. So those were my big struggles, and I really developed a patience. I really became patient thanks to trading, and not only in the training but in my personal life. So it helped me a lot. So if I can say for beginners or also for current traders, patience and disciplines are key for me. So you really have to be patient and to wait. Trading is a waiting time, a waiting game, sorry. So you just have to wait the right time before entering a trade. So that will be my advice with those triggers.
Nice. Okay, cool. And do you trade specific sessions like New York, London, or do you just set alerts and wait for your entry to line up? What's your process for?
I always set alerts, but when I see my trading journals or my trading history, it's true that I prefer to trade during the New York session because I live in Canada.
Yeah.
So it's New York, it's the Eastern time. So it's better for me because I really love the volatility when US session and London session are overlapped. So at my time, it's like 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I prefer to trade during that window, and almost never take trades in the afternoon, my time, so Easter time, because the volatility decreases and there are not very much things to do on the market. So I try to focus at the opening on the US session and once it's overlapped with the London session.
Nice, cool. And with regards to an exit strategy, do you shoot for a certain risk to reward? I know you mentioned there that you let your trades run and move your stop loss manually. So would that be
Mhm.
your process? Just wait until just keep moving your stop loss until it reverses rather than having a TP?
Yeah, because I prefer to put an alert on my TP, for example, TP1, TP2, for example. So I put an alert, and once I hear the alert, I know that I achieved my TP. So I'm just moving my stop loss just to stay in the movement. And most of the time, the trend is still going in my direction. So I prefer to stick with it. But it's not that difficult because I'm not putting my stop loss manually. It's a trailing stop which is automatic with MetaTrader 4. So and depending on the broker, you have that automatic trailing stop on MetaTrader 5 too. But some brokers just don't have it. I don't know why. So yeah, when it occurs, yeah, I have to move it manually, but I put my alerts on my TPs, and once it touch my alerts, so my virtual TP, I just move my stop loss to stay as long as possible in the trend.
Nice. Okay, cool. And then whenever it hits TP1, TP2, would you secure any partials or would you leave the full position running?
Well, there are two schools with it because some people will tell you that it's always good to take partials. I tried it and yes, it works. So I have never against it, but I prefer to keep the old position because when I see the final results, I make much more money when I keep the old position. So I just try to secure my position by moving my stop loss little by little. And if I am out, so if it touches my stop loss, I'm just out, but with the full position. So it really depends on each trader. There are not one which is better than the other, but for my psychology and for my trading style, I prefer to keep the old position.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I'm the same. I've never been a fan of securing partials. Nothing worse than closing half of your position and then watching it fly.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely agree. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? What's your goal? Are you currently a full-time trader, or is that one of your goals? What's your trading career? What does it look like in the next 5 years?
Oh wow, that's a very good question. I'm a full-time trader, but I also have a
Nice.
full-time job in the
Nice.
financial field. So I'm like accumulating two jobs, two full-time jobs at the same
Good.
time. And also all my businesses on the side, trading related, because as I told you, I sell courses. Well, I offer a free forex course, but the course that I sell is just my strategies. In fact, so my 5 strategies that I am teaching, so I'm selling them. And I also recently I am passing challenges for people too. So it's just a new
Nice.
service that I launched. So I have many services that I'm running on the side. So I'm a pretty busy man. Okay. But in 5 years, that's a good question. I think that in 5 years, I will be more stable in my life. I will have a family, have children. I hope so. And I think that I will be more focused on my trading career, meaning that I will continue my trading. But on the other side, I will try to develop other activities. I always dream to create my own school, my own trading school. So I'm really thinking about it. Maybe I'll do it one day. And also just doing like just being like a coach, a trading coach, for example. It's really called me too. So maybe, yeah, in 5 years, I will just continue my trading, continue all my businesses, but try to give more. So try to create something that can help more people. So a trading school. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Nice, sounds good. In 5 years from now, you'll have a successful trading skill and you'll look back in this video and remember when you said
Oh
that.
yeah, I
But
hope so. I wish.
no, I bet. Awesome. So, what is your favorite thing about Alpha Capital Group and being a trader with us?
The favorite thing I like from you. Definitely the trading conditions. Yeah.
Nice.
You guys have very good trading conditions. I'm talking about the slippage, I'm talking about the spreads, I'm talking about the crazy zero commission. I really love it. And since I'm a day trader, but also a scalper, I like to get in and get out of my trade. So knowing that it doesn't cost me more than the actual trade, it's very beneficial. And also, I really love your dashboard. It's very technological, it's beautiful, and you have all your metrics. I like it. I don't know how to say that, but I just like it because some dashboards are too, how can I say that? Are too maybe simple or too basic, but yours is very cool. And I can see all my metrics, all my statistics, and it's very well made. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and you said you love data. Data is key. So the Alpha dashboard's perfect for that. There's so much on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's everything. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty much it. And you guys, if I have a final word to tell you, is that trading is a very long journey. I'm trading since 7 years. I'm profitable only since the 2 last years. Very profitable, yes, but it took me a lot of years. And at some point, I wanted to give up because it was very difficult. I made huge mistakes in the past. I made huge losses. And I was like, okay, maybe trading is not meant for me. So it's always important to take a pause. So I took a pause, and after that, I came back stronger. So the main advice I can give you guys, whatever your strategy, whatever your broker, your prop firm, or your trading coach, or whatever, it's very important to stick with it and just to never give up, because if you started your trading journey, it's for a particular reason. So just try to focus on it. And even if it's difficult, it's a real job. Trading is a real job, and many people forget it. So it's a real job. So you have to study and to practice for years before becoming profitable. But I can truly assure you that it's worth it at the end. So just keep it up, guys. Persevere, work hard, and never give up. As long as you don't quit, you are not failing. That's my final word.
I love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That was brilliant. I'm sure a lot of people watching will find a lot of value in that.